Hey, hey, whiskey friends, far and wide. We are live. I'm Eric, your humble malt muser, beaming the whiskey tube signal from Chicago, Illinois, US and A. What's good, everybody? I hope everyone is doing well. Great to be back after a week off on Tuesday. Brought back something special to drink on tonight as our featured whiskey, so I'm excited to get into that. But as we get moving, like, comment in the chat, hit that like and subscribe if you've yet to. Let me know if you join in the chat where you are joining us from. Love to give you a shout out. I, along with Winston the Whiskey Cat, are enduring some pretty warm temperatures here in Chicago, but I know it pales in comparison to many of y'all in the southern part of the United States. So hope you had something cool to drink and are ready to have a couple of drams to relax. Let's get it started. Saying hello to the folks who are in the chat, ponied up to the virtual bar, ready to get it going today on a tasty Tuesday. First in the door, Mr. Gerbic, Jupiter, Florida. What's up, man? Hi, everyone. Excited for tonight's show and sipping some Bunnahabhain 12 cast strength version. Very nice dram. Donner Pass Whiskey out there in Central California. What's good, buddy? Indeed. Glad you got the 12 cast strength. Eric and I spent way too much going from the UK. Yeah, it is a much more reasonable price now. I agree. We live and learn on that one, hey, buddy? It happens. I suppose it's like for all those times I got, things on a good price. This is, that was one of those times that, things didn't quite work out the way I wanted. So that's okay. Let's keep it rolling here. Mr. French, Duluth, Minnesota. Hello from Duluth, where it's hotter than East Texas. I don't know about that. It's warm. I'll be drinking some Bunnahabhain 18 tonight. All right. Folks having Bunnas in the glass, man. I like to see it. Nice Bunna drams being poured out. I only had a sample of the 18. Wonderful stuff. Completely agree with you on that, Mr. Pass. Hart, Glen Ord 8. Oloroso Sherry. Wow, very nice. That must not be an easy one to come by, if I'm not mistaken. Sweltering on the other side of Illinois over there in the Quad Cities. It's our boy Chris S. What's up, Chris? How you doing, man? Hope you're staying cool. Cheers. Montreal's in the house. Hello, Malt Muser. Cheers, Eric and whiskey friends. Back at you, Paul. How are things up in Montreal, Quebec, Canada? Here's East Texas in the house. It's Daniel. Whiskey peeps, what up? So glad I didn't split right now. Happy Tuesday. Oh, man. Hope you're doing all right down there. I hear things have been pretty rough in Texas. Peter White is in the house up in Ontario. Another one of our good Canadian friends. Mr. White, what's good? He's got a 12 and a Gordon MacPhail cast strength. That's it for his Bunna collection. Yeah, UK is definitely having it too. I was reading about that. It's pretty rough, man. Hope folks are staying cool, especially I know people dealing with the drought and excessive heat. Southwest, the South, Texas, even creeping up here into the Midwest a little bit. I'm more interested in how Eric found a Bunna 25. Yeah, we'll be talking about that shortly, man. I've been off for a week or so. I decided to reach for the top shelf. It's not, something I can do a whole lot. So when I get something really special, I do like to figure out a good time to share it, and now as good as ever. Another friend from Texas, Jupiter Lane. How are you? What's going on, Juniper? Hope you are staying cool and safe down there in steamy Texas. 104 today in Hamilton, Ontario. Wow, man. Thank you, buddy. Thanks, man. I appreciate it. It's launch, dude. Cheers, Dave. Or Daniel, sorry. Eric Guthrie, how's it going, man? Popping in from New Hampshire on my dinner break at work. Pour out some Bunna for me. Favorite distillery. You got that, sir. Great to see you. Another Eric with a K. Cheers, buddy. Rob's in the house. What's up, man? 2017 10-year single cask Altmore in the glass. Man, you're not messing around. That sounds delicious. Tasty Tuesday Whiskey Gang. What's up, James Chang? He's sending his signal from Los Angeles, California. Somewhere out in the valley. Hope things are going well for you out there, buddy. Good to see you, man. Looking like the whole northern hemisphere is in a heat wave. Ain't that the truth? Jesus. Yeah, I mean, it was warm here today in Chicago, but it's not not dealing with half of what some of our other whiskey friends are doing down in, well, pretty much everywhere, right? Hope you guys are all staying hydrated and staying safe. Hey, Bay Area, another Cali friend. Dram Dude, what's up, man? Oh, it's coming. By the way, folks, if you are not yet subscribed to Dram Dude on Instagram, I highly recommend you do so. Not only are his photography skills quite amazing when it comes to shooting great pictures of whiskey, he's a generally great dude. So show some love to some of our whiskey friends. All right, y'all. We got 12 folks in the chat. What's good? Like I said, I'm back in the saddle after a week away. And, you know, I decided here we are in the, is this the dog days of summer technically? I don't know. I don't even know what that phrase really means, to be completely candid with you. So the long stretch, you know, I don't know why it's called dog days, but it is what it is. Figured I'd pour something really nice as our featured whiskey. And we're going to get into that in just a hot moment. Arizona Desert's in the house. Good friend Leo. What's up, Leo? How are things down in the Sun Valley? He's got 40 bottles of Bunna, but no 25-year. Oh, wow. It doesn't surprise me you have 40 bottles of Bunna. I just recently saw he's got all the new Fisio releases that look really, really freaking good. So let's not bury the lead anymore. For about the last 40 minutes, I've had in my glass some whiskey that's been resting, collecting oxygen, getting ready to show itself off. And that whiskey is, as mentioned, our featured whiskey for this Tasty Tuesday. Oh, the Bunnahabhain, 25 years old. So lots to talk about here, including the tasting. Of course, first and foremost, Bunnahabhain. Kind of an oddball distillery over on Isla, one of the few that predominantly makes unpeated whiskey. I think everybody else is mostly peated. Not the case with Bunna. They have a lot of unpeated or technically minutely peated. I believe their 12-year-old is something in the 3 ppm range of peat. So in other words, there ain't no damn peat in their whiskey for the most part. They do have a couple peated drams, however. The one we are looking at tonight comes in a giant freaking wood case with a sliding thing to make it look fancy. This is the 25-year-old Bunnahabhain. It is part of their core range. I believe they also have a 30-year-old in their core range, as well as an 18, a 12, a couple NAS releases. This one in particular, here's the tail of the tape. This is bottled at 46.3% ABV. It is natural color and non-chill filtered. It says so right here on the label. As for the bottle, it says so right on the bottle too. So we got nothing to worry about. This is a integrity bottling. They are not putting fake color. They are not chill filtering. Here's what it has to say. Okay, a whole bunch of 25 years gently maturing in oak casks. We don't know if it's sherry or bourbon or both. I believe it's both. Blah, 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 blah. A bunch of advertising words. Traveled thousands of miles from the equator, breathe gently over land, cocooning the casks as they slumber for 25 years. So it's just talking about some more places it sources their casks from. Rugged landscape, we believe in letting nature take its course. We don't chill filter our whiskey, thus allowing more of the malt's complex aroma, flavor, and texture to remain. That is a factual statement, not just for Bunna, but any distillery. It's a natural way to end a perfectly natural process and lets you enjoy full-bodied taste and savor of spirit, bottled at 46.3% ABV. So I believe you're looking in the typical Bunnahabhain fashion of an ex-bourbon, ex-sherry whiskey here. In the United States, a bottle of this is criminally priced. I believe you will find one anywhere, maybe on the conservative end of $450 to $500. I've seen it upwards of $700. That's a lot. Here is the bottle. Typical Bunnahabhain label. This is one of their newer branded releases. Bunnahabhain does get some attention from whiskey fans for having maybe notoriously some batch variation. However, here in this 25-year-old, I think we'd be splitting hairs. I'm sure there are some really old releases of this that are even better than this one, but I don't expect to be disappointed here. And really, what the big question with this? First of all, has anybody had this before? Let us know in the chat. What other Bunnahabhains do you like? Do you like Bunnahabhain in general? Full disclosure, this is one of my favorite distilleries. All right. Let's get into this whiskey tasting, y'all. I'm going to say hi quick to some new folks I seen just jumping in the chat. Time to plan a heist to steal some. Yes, I agree, dude. I totally agree. I hope I can get another bottle. So in full disclosure, it was around 700, Sir Daniel. I was able to find this overseas. So this is a UK bottling. I think it was around 400, give or take. Sometimes you can find it a little cheaper if you look over at some of the sites. You got to pay for shipping, but you know, sometimes the deal is just too good to turn down. All right, let's get into this dram, y'all. There's Mike B. What's up, buddy? In and out tonight, joining us from Maryland. Great to see you, sir. 400 Canadian in Alberta. I think that would be probably worth it. So yeah, let's check this out. Do let us know in the chat if you've had this before. And honestly, generally, you know, whiskey prices are going up, but these are expensive whiskeys all the time. Is this really worth that much money? We'll give it a taste and find out. We will also love to hear what you guys think generally. I believe I caught Ralphie talking recently. He just thinks all of these 18-year-old and older are just too damn pricey, not worth the money. Go for the younger stuff. Maybe there's some merit to that. This is that natural color we are looking at. At first glance, I would say it probably had some color added, but the label doesn't lie. Here we go on the nose, and I can smell this already. On the nose. Wow. Potent. A very nice, fresh, full sherry note. But you have these gentle oak notes behind it, giving it some dried fruit notes as well. Really just kind of displaying the full range of age here. Man, it's a beautiful nose. It still has this characteristic Bunnahabhain note, which I've always described as the smell of like walking into an old used bookstore. A little musty, a little dusty. It's still in there, and it's not even buried. It's pretty prominent. Wow. So behind that sherry note, there's some honey, little bits of bourbon cask, light chocolate, light vanilla caramel. It just smells rich, well-rounded, and incredibly decadent. Man, I could nose this for a long time. That musty oakiness is just so beautiful on this. I would even venture to say that behind it all, there's a little bit. Now, 1 second. What is this thing? I would venture to say that there's even a bit of a like, maybe a little leather tobacco. Almost like a slight red grape note. The general profile here is a very rich, sweet, savory, sweet spicy. So it's kind of that right. This is not a delicate whiskey on the nose at all. Even at 25 years old, usually you expect something a little bit more delicate, subtle. It's pretty bold. Okay. Enough of that. Let's give this a taste. Happy Tasty Tuesday, y'all. Bunnahabhain, 25 years old. Solange. Wow. Ooh. It's everything you'd expect and more. If you're a Bunnahabhain fan, you're going to know exactly what I'm talking about when I describe this. Let me do one more sip. Rich, complex, fresh fruit. Hits you on the arrival, and it's an array. I mean, we're talking kind of traditional sherry notes, your red fruits. There's also some hints of tropical fruit, a little bit of pineapple, melon, tobacco, Leather starts to take over as it heads towards the back end of the palate. It starts to dry. Tobacco leather, a bit of that mustiness, a slight, almost flinty characteristic. Vanilla, caramel, the bourbon cast starts to show a bit more, seamlessly into a very long finish. Ripe, overripe fruits. Hints of dark chocolate. I can taste it on my lips. One thing I should mention, as you taste whiskey, licking your lips really, really does help. I've found pick up one of those notes that maybe you're just not quite getting. It's on the tip of your tongue. You'll find that some of these notes are even more defined on your lip. When I do it, it's very much dark chocolate. I'm picking that up distinctly. There's a little bit of a nuttiness here. Quite nice. Very nice, actually. Let me check on the chat here real quick, and then we'll put some water on this. Here, Guthrie's got an older bottle of the 25 double batch style. Not the sun. We definitely need to pick it back up at the moment. Very nice. That's awesome. Peter White's it at $400 in Canadian. Glorious whiskey, but I struggle with shelling out $500 for any whiskeys. I try to top out at $200. That's a really, really great prompt there, remember. Unless the good graces of my of the whiskey community helps me do it, I generally struggle to spend a ton of money on a very special bottle like that as well. Partially because I think they're overpriced. In the case of bourbon, and you know what? Let's put a pin in that for now. Let's finish this tasting, and I'd love to talk some more about it. Okay, orders can be very good values with no VAT, U.S. state taxes. Yeah. That's a really good point, though, Eric. Let's put some water on this. It is 46.3, but with an older whiskey, you really don't want to. You got to be careful not to drown it. I'm really just going to do 2 drops of water here, really with the goal of just, you don't want to overdo it, because these whiskeys are more delicate, at least in terms of what how easily they can get drawn out by water. Here we go. Let's see what this has got in store for us now. My nose is about the same. Rich, toffee, treacle molasses. I like how I say treacle, because that's what the Brits say when they're talking about molasses. Like, I've even ever said treacle in my life. Y'all should slap me for that. It's molasses, y'all. There's a bit of that molasses note. There's a little bit of a anise seed, black licorice seed note. Drying, nice sherry. Fantastic nose. Really, really fantastic. Treacle. All right, here we go with water, Slange. Oh, man. It's like you're chewing on a damn chocolate caramel. So rich. Yeah, true. Such a rich, the water extending this development, really pulling those dark chocolate caramel oak cast notes to the forefront. But there is no edge on this. It is not overly oaked at all. It is, the dryingness actually fades a little bit with water. I actually think this is better with water. Get a little bit of apple in here. Wow. How long did they say this was in the? Okay, it doesn't say what the casks were. That's right. I'm assuming this is ex-bourbon next sherry. Man, that's good. Okay, so here we go. Look out. The price on this is steep. If you are in the U.S. and can't get this overseas, I'm sorry, but $700, $600, it's just too much for any whiskey, in my opinion, or at least for this whiskey. We'll debate if it's too much for anything else. That said, this is one of the more strikingly delicious single malts that I think I have had before. It's tough to, for a 25-year-old whiskey these days, you're just not going to find one under $300 if you're lucky. I mean, most of the time they're going to be well north of that. And as far as I'm concerned, of the 25-year-old whiskeys or even these older whiskeys I've had, it's a tough comparison, but I will say this one's on the higher end for sure. What it does over the 18, which by the way was one of my whiskeys of the year a few years back, which I think is fantastic, is it really just kind of extends the development and even extends that finish just like you would expect from a 25-year-old whiskey in good cask. You're expecting a longer experience. You get it with this. You really get it with this. I don't know how I go lower than a 4.75 on this. It's not the perfect whiskey, but it is damn close. This is fantastic stuff. The other thing I just want to note about this is how the age shows up, but there's a freshness to it as well. And they play so well together. This doesn't taste like an antique per se. There's, especially on the nose neat, there's a good amount of fresh characteristic to this, which I think they balanced so well with Bunnahabhain's, again, kind of basement musty old bookstore style. I'm really impressed with this. I gotta give it a 4.75. I'll do a full review of this eventually, but I just can't see this ever going below a 4.5. I really can't out of 5. It's that good. My Bunnahabhain 18 score was a 4 out of 5. I mean, this is a step up for sure, and even with the price, this is just a damn good whiskey, man. Just a damn good whiskey. I wish I could drink this every day. Unfortunately, if I do that, I don't think I don't foresee another bottle of this in my future, given the cost. So, this will be one I got to kind of sit on for a while. Maybe this will be in the next Patreon raffle, which, by the way, we're going to announce next week. So it is the second one of the year. Well, I guess we're announcing it now. Second Patreon raffle coming up. If you join on Patreon at whatever rate is comfortable for you in the next 2 weeks, you are automatically entered into the whiskey sample raffle. There are 3 winners in each time we do this, which we do 3 times a year. Winner 1 will get 3 samples. Winner 2 will get 2. Winner 1 will get 1. Next week on the show, I will announce which whiskeys those are. But do not be surprised if the Bunnahabhain 25 is in that. Maybe it'll be in it for more than one spot. We will see. So anybody who's already a Patreon supporter, you're in luck because you're already automatically in this. Expect to be part of that raffle. You have to take no action. First time and want to support the channel, you get exclusive content. You get early access to reviews. You get into the whiskey raffles that I do a couple of times a year. And frankly, you get to support this great channel. I think it's pretty great. So feel free to join patreon.com/maltmuserwhiskey. But 4.75 out of 5. That's what I'm going at with the Bunna, y'all. I'm not playing with this. This is serious stuff. Other than this ridiculous huge box, I really cannot complain about anything in this. Fantastic stuff. If you like Bunnahabhain, there's no reason in hell you wouldn't love this. And even Winston the whiskey, oh, he's asleep. Get in there. Yeah, all good, Daniel. Let me catch up on the chat here, man. We got 16 folks in. What is up, y'all? Dumb question. How do you turn the background off StreamYard? How do you turn the background music off? Oh, it's an on-off thing. I've actually been using. Is it annoying to you guys? They just gave it to us under. I have an account that I pay for, and they just gave us like access to the music thing. So I thought I'm like putting it on in the background a little bit. If it annoys you guys or sucks, there's a bunch of different music options. I'll happy to turn it off. Yeah, man, you got to get your hands on this, brother. I think you'd really like it. Join on Patreon, man. Get in that sample raffle. There's that link. Thank you, man. I appreciate that. Yeah, buddy. You know it. Forgot to buy the UK candy. Did you see tasting those on the TV? Cold cute. There you go. Now you gotta let us know where you go after that. Is this now the most you've spent on a bottle? No. The most I've spent on a bottle, and again, I got to give shout outs to some of y'all who helped make this happen. The Redbreast 27. That was, I think, $4.75. The Bunna I got, I think, was around $4. I do have a couple that I paid over $300 for. I got some Brooklotti Black Arts in the bunker. Lafroig 25. Balvenie tons. I think I paid $3.75 for a couple of those, maybe $4. And I have a Lagavulin 16 White Horse Distillers 1980s, which is in the bunker. I paid more than $400 for that, but not more than $5. So I think the Redbreast 27 is in there. Most everything else, I'm usually in that $200 to $300 range if I'm really going to reach for something. Which brings up a great question, as prompted by Eric Guthrie. I mean, do you guys set limits for yourself on how much to spend on a bottle? Is it just what you can afford? Will you save and try to reach on something? Do you really think any bottles are worth that money, or is there just so much good whiskey in that $100 range, maybe up to $200, that you see no reason for it? I would love to hear what y'all got to say about that. I'll share my 2 cents on that in a minute. Oh yeah, I did get to join him for a bit on that, which was a lot of fun. Oh, thanks again for dropping that link. Yeah, patreon.com/user with me. Cheers, Daniel. Can see having it as a special occasion like the Balvenie Ton Club. Yes, I completely agree. James Morgan, we were just talking about weather, man. How are you, buddy? You surviving over there in the UK? I heard hottest day on record, man. I'll raise a glass to you. Hope you are staying cool. I assume it's nighttime now. Hope you're getting a reprieve, man. Good to see you. Yeah, for sure. No limit, baby. We're going to get Master P going on in here? I think I'll get hit with copyright violation. Honestly, I don't set limits. But I do know what I can buy. I really can. Obviously, if I want to go more expensive, I wait a week or something. Yeah. That's totally fair. Peter White. It's at 600 Canadian. Okay. Yeah. Glad to hear it, man. Glad to hear it. Stay hydrated, buddy. Cool. Yeah, generally, I don't set limits either, but I do get pretty picky with it. No whiskey is worth it after a couple $100. The whiskey is a luxury item, so it's really not about really worth it. So whether or not you want it for the person, it's very fair point. Very fair. Well said, Dram dude. Yeah, my general philosophy on it has been like, whiskers with plenty of good stuff in that 60 to 120. Yeah, I don't disagree at all. Another friend from the Chicagoland area. I hope everyone is keeping cool as well. Cheers, Silverlock. Great to see you. My general approach to these things has been, as far as bourbon goes, you are hard pressed to see me spend more than $100 on any bourbon that I'm going to drink. If it's a collector's item, that's a different thing. But a niche case, man, there's no way that I would. Very rarely would I spend over $100 on a bourbon, and mostly and again, this isn't a slight on bourbon. There is just so much good bourbon at $100 or less, even much less, that to me, the difference between like a $150 bourbon in most cases and like a $75 bourbon is not that much. Bourbon's a little bit simpler in terms of its flavor profiles. I say that very loosely. So we're friendly. I'm being friendly. Don't shoot me. Unless somebody comes up to me and is like, I'll sell you a Buffalo Trace Antique Collection for $175. Like, that's really it. I'm just not going to do it. Scotch, I think, is different. I think the range of Scotch and what Scotch can do, what the difference in age really makes a huge difference with Scotch. And that's why I think, generally speaking, if I'm going to the store, unless I'm hunting for something specific, the 150 to 200 range, going over 300 is a luxury for me, for sure. For sure. Very rarely. I can count on, two hands how many times I've ever done that in my life. I generally find that the scotches that I gravitate towards more nowadays are between 80 to 140 is about the range I would say most of the whiskey that I'm buying right now falls in. And honestly, with inflation and the boom around scotch, you're just not going to find. I mean, that's just par for the course. I mean, 5 years ago, whiskeys that were $80 are now 120. So, it is what it is. So, is it worth it? And I think Dram Dude's point is right. It is a luxury item. But yeah, is any whiskey, is this Bunnahabhain? I think $300, $50 is a reasonable price these days, all things considered, for this 25-year-old Bunnahabhain. $650, like, absolutely not. So, like, to me, it's, you gotta be bringing something serious to the table if I'm going to be shelling out more than 150 to 200 bucks. And sometimes you get lucky, and that's the case. And other times you got to reach for it. So that's generally where I fall on it. I just think there's less phenomenal scotch these days under 100 than there is bourbon. I think there's a ton of good bourbon. So that's kind of where I'm at. Irish, too. I mean, Irish, I'll throw down, $100 for a really good Irish whiskey. I do. Let's see what's going on. So hot today, man. You are not fucking lying, dude. Rough business. Above the Serbian price, whiskey turns into an investment. No lie, man. I think 150 to 200 has some really special dollars. Balvenie ton doesn't fit there, and that's one of them I'd like to go to. Yeah. Look, man, I'll be completely honest. I've opened one of those. I think I've done the batch 5. I mean, it's good. I really love Balvenie. But $350, I don't know. And they're getting worse in price. You're not better. It's tough, man. Hey, the other half of the LA Cruising House. What up, Cohen? Happy All-Star Week for you out there at Dodger Stadium. Mm-hmm. $225 on a Glenmore G10. 1880s though, that's pretty cool. I mean, yeah, might have reached a little bit, but still pretty cool. Good stuff, man. Great to see you, Cohen. Oh, really? So that we should expect an American League win then, huh? I kid. I know he's having a comeback season, and it's not the playoffs, so you can expect Kershaw. I know. Look, first ballot Hall of Famer. I'm kind of in the same boat. 100 bucks, yeah, 100 bucks those were bourbon. The market's just filled with stuff, man. You see people, especially in secondary markets, reaching for like $120 fucking Weller bottles. You're like, are you nuts? You can get larceny cask strengths, which are just as weeded. Well, not just as weeded, but weeded enough. Way cheaper. I mean, there's just so much Old Elk cask strengths that are full wheat whiskeys. If wheat whiskey's your thing, $55 at the store. Man, there's just so much good bourbon in the market that I just, man, look, am I saying it's going to be some of these, higher end bourbons aren't good? No, they're great. But the difference between great and good with bourbon just seems like it's a smaller thing, right? Like there's more overlap between scotch and stuff. That's just how it seems to me. Dodges. My Brewers are coming for you this year. Wait, let me rephrase that. My Brewers are limping towards you this year. Sox are turning it around, though. White Sox, that is. A few over 200, but I'm not counting bound bottles with shipping it. Yeah, very fair. In the end, You drink it and quig it out. Well put. I got Benchmark Foolproof a few days ago, and it's pretty good. It was $23.99 for a 125 proof. Maybe the best bang for your buck bourbon right now. Whoa! Love to hear it. For long, I always said the best bang for your buck bourbon was the Knob Creek single barrel. It's like 60% ABV, but dude, the Wild Turkey Rare Breed is like $40. I mean, come on, right? Like, here's another one. Like, definitely to put on your radar, y'all. If you're looking for one of those good punch above your weight bourbons, $25. That's California prices. It's probably about 30 here, but the challenge is differentiating between what I spend and what a whiskey is currently worth. It's tough to open a bottle that's worth $500. Oh, no doubt, man. No doubt. No doubt. I mean, look, I got, the rarity stuff comes into equation as well. But like, yeah, I mean, there's definitely some whiskeys that I find it a little harder to open because I don't think I'll ever find them again. So I'm kind of waiting for some occasion, or, I don't buy things really to sit on and sell. Every once in a while, I mean, there are a couple bottles. Like if I went into a liquor store and I found a shelf of Blantons and they were selling them for $60 a bottle, I would buy them all not to drink, would probably flip. But otherwise, I'm not going to. I don't spend a lot of time doing that stuff. I usually buy things to drink. Every once in a while, if it's a special thing, I'll buy it just to kind of set aside for the future. But by and large, no, I'm not in the whiskey flipping industry. For me, greater than 150 for Scotch is a stretch, and 200 is rare. Yeah, because we're about all in kind of the same place. I would do the exact same thing if I had one. People will pay stupid prices for those bourbons, man. It's just how it is. Not buying the new Redbreast 101 at 100. I saw that. Is that the American Oak one or whatever? I don't know about that. Yeah, completely. I mean, the 27 and the 21, which I've been fortunate enough to have, are better than the 12 cask strength, but I will tell you this. They're not that much better. The 12 cask strength still, I think, is the price sets the bar. I mean, if you need one Irish whiskey in your life and you want a real Irish whiskey, Redbreast 12 cask strength every time, no doubt. Oh yeah, you're living good, Cohen. That's $60. That's exactly what you want. Grabbed a Larceny cask strength today for some $65. Yeah, dude, it's a great price. Ooh, hiss. Tomaton G, Bunna 12 casks. What's up, man? How are you? Cask strength worth 120. Are you in the States? If you're in the States, bud, you can get it cheaper. If you're in the States, let me know what state you're in. You can get it cheaper. 120 is a lot, man. That's a bit much. I don't know if I would say 120. Donner Pass, if you're in the house, you can probably verify. $120 for that Bunna 12 cask strength. That's a little steep. If you're in the States, though, let me know. I can at least point you in the right direction where you might be able to get it, $25-$30 cheaper than that. All right. If you're just joining the show, we got 19 folks in. What's up, everybody? We're back on a Tasty Tuesday. It's great to see you. We just did a huge tasting review of the mighty Bunnahabhain, 25 years old. It's a delicious dram. It is a 4.75 out of 5. It's that good. Near perfect whiskey. Price can be a little tough. Look overseas. Daniel, you're in Wyoming? Jersey. Oh, if you're in Jersey, bro. Okay. As somebody who lived in Philadelphia for 2 years, yeah, we can find you that cheaper than that, and it'll ship it to your door. I'm going to drop a link in the chat that I would recommend that you use to look for that whiskey in your area. It is called winesearcher.com. It should pull up a decent amount of stores in your area. And if it doesn't do enough, let me know. Like, just shoot me an email at malt.muser@gmail. There's a bunch of places in Jersey that I know will ship to you for sure. That may have it cheaper. Hey, Quig's in the house, coming from Alberta. What's up, Quig? Y'all, if you have not subscribed to Food Quig, make sure you go show him some love. And speaking of Food Quig, we're going to be cracking a sample right here of Macaloni's Caledonian Invermelly 57.9 Premium Recharred Red Wine Barriques. This is a sample that was sent to me by Mr. Quig himself. I'm going to put this in the glass. We're going to sip on this tonight as we go along. This is a Canadian whiskey, one that is worth your money, very likely. How are you, Food Quig? I believe he is on vacation, so undisclosed location somewhere in Alberta, buddy. Nice, man. Gary's in the house too. Frisco, what's up, man? We just got done tasting the Bunnahabhain 25. It wouldn't surprise me if you've had this one before. Let me know. Yeah, totally, bud. Just let me know if it doesn't work or you don't find, you got to search on a bit, but I'm telling you, Jersey's a pretty good state for whiskey. You can get stuff shipped to you from outside the state. If you have trouble, just shoot me an email at malt.muser@gmail, and I might be able to help you out with that. But 120 plus tax, that's a little heavy, man. Vacation is happening, he says. He's got a sample of this from the Quig, too. Hell yeah, let's do this. Have it and love it. Hell yeah, Gary. Great to hear it, man. It was a 4.75 out of 5 whiskey for me. So, oh yeah, it is serious business. It's bloody hot everywhere, brother. Lethbridge, Alberta. What are you you're not up in the mountains? Where is that up in the mountains? I'm Googling where Quig is right now. I don't look too much. Oh, it's near the mountains. Food Quig at Kensington Market buying whiskey. I hope so. Alberta is the place to go out here in Canada. Yeah, man. Unbelievably good stuff. Dram Dude is in the house. We were just talking about this. He's got to get his hands on this one. Awesome, y'all. So I should also let everybody know, whiskey review dropping Friday. Tobermory, 12 years old. If you are part of the, if you are a Patreon supporter, not only will you automatically be entered in that sample raffle, you get early access to whiskey reviews, among other things. That Tobermory 12 review is already in your inbox. Eek. Yeah, man. The United States be burning up, man. Here in Chicago, it is 85. Got a little warm today. It's all 90s this week, though. 92, 90, 93, 92, 90. Yeah, a little rough, but not too bad. Alpha Crown, what's going on? Sierra Springbank Liquor in Alberta. Sirius Spring? Past the mountains, flat up there. Cut. Have a great day. Hey, great to see you, Mike. Take good care, man. Be well. Always good to have Mike in the house. We've been tasting some samples sent by him over the past couple of weeks. They've been fantastic, man. Appreciate you, Mike. Hope your recovery's going well. Catch you later. Man, y'all, it's hot. Let me tell you a little bit about this Macaloni's Red Barrique. What a nice, calm. I mean, for 57.9, this is a really relaxed whiskey. Full flavor. I'm hit or miss with red wine casks. Winston, the whiskey cat, is passed out. I can't even see if he wants. You want to try this? He won't even. He's donezo. Good stuff. Macaloni's is another one of these Canadian whiskeys you just don't find here in the States. Maybe some of our friends out on the West Coast run into some of these Canadian drams, but most of the Canadian whiskey we get here in the States is honestly pretty paltry and not of the highest quality. We'll get a Pike Creek here and there. We'll get I'm trying to think. We get some of these Alberta premiums, but they've really fallen off ever since that one, that first batch. The second and third batch I thought were pretty meh. 102 Fahrenheit in London. Jesus Christ! Hope you got yourself some air conditioning. Yeah, it's heavy, buddy. Irishman 17 single malt and 1994 17 Glen Getty. Oh, is it that Irishman single cask 17-year-old? You still see that out by you? If you do, let me know. I would love to figure out a way to put me in the right direction. I'd love to get another one of those. I got that at a government store in Pennsylvania, and I wish I could have got more. There was only one there. Anyways, this Macaloni's nice, balanced malt. Yeah, that's real. I don't even have air conditioning. Yes, it's true. I don't. We got some nice fans, but it's a little warm. This Macaloni's is quite nice. I like the way the wine cask kind of integrates here. Definitely prominent. Do you guys like wine cask whiskeys? Yeah, I don't mean sherry. I mean wine. Boy, you wouldn't know this was 57% You just wouldn't. Every sample of Macaloni's that Quig has sent me has either met or exceeded expectations. And it's the same with Two Brewers, by the way. There is a lot of Canadian whiskey that, for some godforsaken reason, we just cannot get our hands on in the States, and it is to our detriment. I'm telling you. Macaloni's and Two Brewers are prime examples of this. What do you think, Winston? Winston the Whiskey Cow is hot and tired. Yes, you are. Yes, you are. What are your favorites? Considering your love of Bunnahabhain, I'm not surprised because Bunnahabhain does it really freaking good. That Bordeaux red wine cask, for example, one of the better whiskeys I think I've ever had. So that makes two of my favorite whiskeys of all time are drams from Bunnahabhain, the 25 and the red wine Bordeaux. I think it was a special release, probably about 3 or 4 years ago. Man, stunning whiskey, and it's only like 9 years old, which is probably part of the reason that I only bought one at the time. But the minute I tasted it, I was like, "Good God, I need to get as many bottles of this as possible." It's honestly it's a special dram. It really is. I'm sure. I think Dram Dude, I've seen you post on Instagram. You've had that. My favorite wine cask is the Longrow 13 Malbec. It's gone now. I have the 10, and I think I have a couple of those other Longrows, but I never had that 13 Malbec. The 10 is okay. Maybe we'll do a dram of that next. And this is, okay, 2021 Lagavulin 12 Pro. It's the best Lagavulin I may have ever tasted. Right there with the 2017 variant. Oh, that is great to hear. Lagavulin 12, honestly, one of the best, if not, it's in the top 3, I think, routinely, consistently good, heavily peated scotches from England. Another thing you put in there is Ardbeg 10. Lefroy 10 cask strength. That, if you're, well, yeah, I would say that's fair. It's just so good. Unfortunately, the prices have gone crazy with that. I have a 2013, I have a 2018, and a 2019 of the 12 years old. And Man, they are just so damn good. So damn good. But unfortunately, they're getting harder to find. The prices are they used to be like 120, kind of like Springbank Toll. Now they're like 160, 170. I mean, you got to kind of hunt for them. But it's the best thing you can get from Lagavulin without, having to spend your entire life savings. I think it's by far, maybe other than, no, it's better than the 16. Not even a question. Yeah, you sent me a sample of Bunna Bordeaux. It's off the hook. But yeah. That's right. I did send you a sample of that. Dude, that whiskey is fucking nuts. Shelter Point. Yeah, and I think maybe it's just because it's a little bit of a younger distillery. So like I've enjoyed a lot of the Shelter Points, but I'm not as blown away by them as I've been with the two brewers and the Macalonis so far on average. There are definitely a couple Shelter Points that I think were better than these, but there were a few that were like, But you're absolutely right. Yep. Yes. To be clear, it's the Moynia Bordeaux. I think I have like a couple bottles of it. That is unicorn whiskey. Anybody get the Longrow Red 15 Pinot? No. I have the 11 Pinot or the 10 Pinot. Alpha Crown. Just picked up a dusty 2013 Lag 12 with an old price. I get you. What? You have a Lagavulin? You got a Lagavulin 12-year-old 2013, bro. That's serious. I'd love to hear what you paid for it. That's serious. Lag 2012, 2000 is good reviews. Haven't tried that. I haven't either. Bruichladdich is really good stuff. They're peated on stuff, no doubt. If folks didn't catch my recent review, it was the Bruichladdich Isla Barley 2012 and 2011, both nice whiskeys. Hey, JK135, how you doing? Happy Tasty Tuesday. Good to see you. Yeah, take a second, smash that thumbs up if you can. And if you're new to the channel, love to have you subscribe and let me know in the chat where you're joining us from. I do love to give folks a shout out from their location. I don't know, but that would make them even cooler if they did. I mean, weed's legal here in Chicago, but that would be rad. I have a Shelter Point Smoke Point Hook Cask, 137 miles. Damn. That sounds freaking great. All right. I got to figure out where to go from here. This Macalonius is giving me a taste for sherry, but it's also giving me a taste for peat. All this Freud conversation making me think about peat. Maybe we bust out the Carchis. Maybe I bust out a Lagavulin 12 cask strength. Carchis 2022 or Lagavulin 12 cask strength. Let me know. We'll do a peated whiskey next. That I believe. Yeah. Love to hear it, man. I love to hear it. Some people were not big fans of the 2019. I actually quite liked that Lagavulin 12 cask strength, but I don't think anything holds a candle to some of their older releases of this, especially the 2000. What was it? The 2018 and 19 I really loved, but there's a couple older ones. He says go for the Lag 12 cask strength. I sadly don't have the Lion Fire, but I'm hearing good things about it. All right. Let me go. I wish I had I don't have the Flaming Lion, man. All I have is the one with the bird on it. Y'all are making me jealous of not having that. Hmm. They're putting the age statement on it now, huh? No, I hadn't seen it. Okay, let me just get a refill of water really quick, and then we'll get into some Lagavulin 12 cast strength. We got 23 folks in, which is rad. What's up, y'all? Happy Taste Tuesday. I will be right back. All right, y'all, we're back. Yes, it is always. That is correct, but they don't always state the age. They've never stated the age on it. So that's what I think is what they're alluding to is like they're starting to put the age on it, which is probably a good sign. Okay. We're going to go into the Lagavulins here. We got a distillery bottling, a couple of jazz fests, actually. But no, we're going to go into this one. This is the Lagavulin 12 cast drink. This is the first time when they started doing these themed bottles. This is the Eagle one. 2019 version. Ooh, I'm getting low on this. Let's get some of this in the glass. Now, batch variation is serious with these, but generally they're all 12 years old. Well, they are all 12 years old. They're cask strength. I believe they're all ex-bourbon cask. This one in particular, bottled at 56.5% ABV. And it looks to me like I'm going to have to go hunt another one of these eventually. Oh, really? Is that? Holy shit. I didn't know that. They downgraded the, so it's not all 16-year-old age safe. We can't assume that they're using that because most of the distillery editions, so from what I always understood, what the distillers editions do is any company, or the companies owned by Diageo that they do this with, is they take the core range malt from the distillery, Talisker 10, Lagavulin 16, Kalila 12, Oban 14, whatever, and then they basically just finish it in something. So you're getting the core range whiskey with a finish. So I did not know that they're lowering the age statements, which is not. Why is it not surprising to me? Sadly, that still might be a 16-year-old whiskey, though. I don't know. Maybe not. Yeah. Interesting. Okay. Good to know. Good to know. Good to know. I did not know that. That's true, but so like this one was an Eagle. I don't remember what the 2020 one was. They also call themselves the King of Isla on here, which is not true. Ardbeg is the King of Isla. If we're going by advertising only, I'm not saying they're a better distillery. The thing I liked about this one is it's very spirit driven instead of cask, and some people were probably not as enthralled with that. It's a very old school dram. A lot of vanilla, barley forward, caramel toffee notes, sea pepper, like sea salt, saltiness. Or big limited editions. I'm definitely not thinking about that. That's a fact. That is 100% fact. Their limited editions are far from it. Hey, good to see you, Silverlock. Cheers, buddy. Silverlock joining us from the suburbs of Chicagoland, so not far from me. Well, I think, maybe a little bit far. I mean, Chicago's huge. I'm in the city, but I don't remember exactly where you said you were, Silverlock. Okay, for another time. It's just such a wonderful nose on this. A lot of people were disappointed with this one. To me, it shows up more like a Bruichladdich type whiskey. Very barley forward, malt forward, really showcasing its kind of distillery character. There's a sweet kind of floral quality to this. Yeah, the price increase on the Log 16 is insane. I saw a Lagavulin 16 today here in Chicago for $110. Man, I'm telling you, this whiskey just hits. It hits so well. A lot of peat, a lot of smoke, but a ton of just fresh barley, fruit, orchard fruits. Slight floral characters, a bit of kind of marine quality that you kind of expect from Lagavulin. I don't know if it would stand up necessarily as one of the greats compared to the other ones of the 12 cask strength releases, but this is no slouch whiskey. And I know a lot of people hated it. I'm not sure why. It's a bit different, but it's good. I'm impressed. And honestly, look, for your money, Lagavulin 12 cask strengths are, even at the 150 point, and I hope they're not watching. They're not. It's the best thing they put out by far on a consistent basis. And I'm willing to reach a little bit on these because they're just that good. It's an adventure. Every one of these bottles is an adventure. And there are increasingly fewer and fewer of these, I think. Ardbeg finally, their core range, I think, is starting to take a turn for the less quality. People are starting to notice it in their 10-year-old. Lefroy, though, seems to be on the uptick. They're still not doing craft presentation, which I'm hoping changes with their new master distiller. But their new cartridge is great. Food Quick, keep a lookout for that package. Got something in there for you from Lefroy. Their sherry cask releases they did last year are all really good. I feel like it was a good year for Lefroy in 2021 in terms of their releases. So far, 2022 has been similar. Their 10-year-old has kind of went out to pasture, I think, but they're really doing, I think some of their other releases are really, really showing up in good ways. Still get your hands on Lore, quarter cask, etc. Gene's in the house. How you doing, Gene? Just picked up the Lag 16 for 80. Thought that was it. Yeah, it is. That's really decent these days. Where'd you pick that up? Great to have you in the house, by the way. Definitely hits classic malt, honey malted, lemon, peppery Lefroy. Oh yeah. Sadly, Lagavulin. I'm sorry, Lagavulin. Lagavulin is a distillery I don't buy because the price is so much better things. Fair enough. Would love to hear some of your recommendations on things as alternatives to Lagavulin. Yeah, it is. 169 was the sticker on the price on the one I bought today. I didn't pay near that, but had a little 169 for the Lagavulin 16. Are you kidding? Or are you talking about the 12? That can't be. I was gonna say, I hope you're talking about the 12. Yeah, fair enough. Can't put a price on that, Gene. There's Donner Pass Freud with some careful research is one of the very good for the money spent. Yeah, I'm not going to disagree with you there. 8-year-old for discussion sounds like an attempt to replace the 10 with the lower age statement. I have not had it. I do have a bottle. I have not had it. I don't know. I hope not, because the Ardbeg 10 is, to me, the masterclass introductory Isla Peat. It's the quintessential Isla Peat whiskey. I did a video a while back comparing that with the 10-year-old Port Charlotte and the 10-year-old Lafroig, the Ardbeg one. I think justly. Ardbeg 10 has been consistently one of the best whiskeys for just a no-nonsense, nice peated dram at a good price. It's hard to beat. I would hate to see them move away from that. Yeah. I do have a 10, 12. I got a couple older 12s that are, kind of older ladies. Lines for 150, and that is considered a good price. So, I agree. 169 was a 12-year. I got it for 105. Great price. Great price. You couldn't bitch and moan about this whiskey compared to other Lagavulin 12 cask strength releases. I'm sure I think the 2018, for example, is better. But this is a no such whiskey, and at the price, I think I paid $115 for this. It still just outshines the competition in many ways. I don't know what else to say about it. It's complex. It's rich. It's vibrant. It's super smoky, super ashy, and super peaty. Everything you want. I just am not sure. The prices of these are going to get a little bit crazy. They are already. Once you get to the range, I'm up for it. Yeah, I'm with you on that. I believe lately Isla would get attacked by Putin if they changed. Well, we know how inept that would end up being, right? Fingers crossed. Donner Pass. That was a top 5 whiskey for me in 2019. I still have about a quarter bottle of that left. Fantastic stuff. Fantastic. And Deanson, to me, is a distillery that is as hit. They are. If there's a distillery that is more hit and miss than Deanson for me, I don't know which one it would be. Gunfarcos is mostly miss. Let me know in the chat. Hit and miss distilleries. Highland Park, good hit and miss distillery. Deanston, hit and miss distillery. So basically what I'm saying is by hit and miss, it's like half the stuff they put out you like, half is underwhelming. Other things you try. Kilholman, I know I'm going to catch flack for this. Kilholman probably actually is mostly miss for me, but probably half and half. Close to half and half. Kalila is, if we keep the independent bottlings out of the equation, mostly miss. Jura, mostly miss. Oban, mostly miss. Highland Park. Highland Park is probably Highland Park, Deanston. Those are Glengoyne, 2 or 3 distilleries that are very hit and miss for me. Like half the things I get, I think are better than they should be, and half I think are worse than they should be. We'd love to hear what other folks got to say about that. GK135. What was the other Euro Shepperton's fine drams you recommend? I saw some good stuff at fine drams, but their sample selection, independent bottles is pretty some. Yeah, a good Euro shop, especially if you're, because the euro and dollar are almost at parity still. World Wine and Whiskey, and you should Google it in that exact format. You know what? In fact, let me just find the website. I'll just drop it in the chat. This is another one that they have a pretty good selection. Their shipping is not great, but this website. Yeah, definitely. Kilhoman finished bottles are hit miss. Yes, that is true. Kilhoman, you should. I'm not a Kilhoman guy. I went out drinking with Swami. This was like 2 weeks ago. Malta in Montreal. He was in. He went to visit Milwaukee. I drove up there. We went out drinking. Boy, did we get into about Kilhoman. He thinks I'm crazy about hating on Kilhoman. I don't hate. Man. Kilhoman mostly just doesn't do it for me. And I think it's similar to Talisker. Talisker, Kilhoman, these are not distilleries that I'm a huge fan of, which is why you don't see a lot of reviews of them on my channel. I think they make quality stuff. I like the way they do business. They're just not my jam. I think I've had one and a half Kilhomans. Loch Gorm and the Mockyer Bay cask strength that I thought, oh, that's good. Everything else has been like, yeah. Look, if Ardbeg could put out a consistently new whiskey or a new whiskey that beat Ugadal or their 10, I think the last time that happened was the Dark Cove. That's it, though. Corey Vrecken, but none of these limited whiskeys are doing. Old Deans and Specials were full of cask maturations. Yeah, that Bordeaux red wine cask is fantastic. Man. Really, really nice bottle. Quinto Ruben, Glenmore Malaga is good. Cognac not so good. Lasanta suck. I don't know what I think about this. Lasanta. I agree with you. The Malaga cask is the best Glenmorangie I've had in 2 years. Not even a question. I bought 2 bottles. I bought a bottle. I drank it so fast. I was on California. I bought another. I have another unopened. Not a job. The cognac was. The Taylor Cake was. The Taylor Winter was pretty good. Glenmorangie is another good example. They're one of my more favorite distilleries. They tend to be a bit hit and miss. Should be waiting for me at the local post office when I get home next week. Yeah. Excited for you on that. That's what I've heard. I had the last one I had was in 2019. It was quite good. Any more thoughts on the new Lefroy Cartier buy? So here's my thoughts on the new Lefroy Cartier. First fully bourbon cask that they've done. Bourbon cask is the wheelhouse of Lefroy, I think. At least dominant bourbon cask. First one they've done full bourbon cask since the 2017, and in 2017 it was quarter casks. So even debatable if that was bourbon. So we really want to be honest, we go back to 2015. It was a nice change of pace. I think it's a really good dram. I wouldn't pay over 100. I wouldn't pay over 90. But here's the thing. Unlike Ardbeg, the cartridges seem to be maintaining their price. It is light years better than that port in wine cask from 2 years ago. It is maybe not quite as... Oh my God, dude is maxing out back there. It is not quite as good as maybe the PX Casting, but I think the new Warehouse One Lefroy Cartridge is freaking great. I would buy it. If you find it for $90 less, buy it without hesitation. Maybe an independent bottling. Nothing I've ever had from their distillery. Not quite. Hot garbage. I mean, the Portland one, it was fine. I just think it was overdone. It was a little bit imbalanced. I think if you like the PX, I think the PX was a better one. I would go with the new one. I think is probably the best one they've put out since the Fino. Maybe on par with the Finos. Tough to say. Subjective at that point. Yeah, I mean, it depends where you're at, Gene. I mean, if you're in the States, there's definitely places you could probably find it cheaper. Yeah, 110. You know what? Let's pour some. Let's pour some of the new cartridges. I think this will be a good one to compare to the Lagavulin 12, just because it's cask strength. It's all bourbon cask. That's a $125 whiskey. I paid a little less, but it's a $125 whiskey on average, if not more. 135, 145. This, maybe 100. You can see I put a dent in this already. Let's put some of this in the glass. Beautiful. Oh, that nose is good. $110 was the cheapest you found in Jersey? Oh man. Yeah, but you got to go on Wine Searcher. What were my Jersey spots that I used to order things from? Astor Wine and Spirits in New York City. They'll deliver to you. There's a lot of those. Look at Wine Searcher. I don't remember my full list of Jersey shops, but there's definitely enough that you should. I mean, Canals. You should be able to find it at a Canals, depending where you are in Jersey. I like the PX over the Warehouse one, but I appreciate Warehouse one is. Yeah, I do too. Well, now just to be clear, the cartridge line is for the most part not cask strength. It would be nice if it was, but it's still 52.2. The only cask strength ones that I recall are the triple wood cask strength 29 in 2019, the quarter cask 2017. And the rest are not. I mean, they're all like over 50, but they're not cask strength. So it's not really that it's a deviation or anything, but yeah, this is actually a higher ABV than most of the cartridges. So let's take a look at it. So for the PX was cask strength last year, 58.9. 2021 was the port and wine cask, 52%. Triple wood cask strength 2019 was 59.5. The Fino cask 2018 was 51.9. 2017 was the cask strength. It was the cask strength quarter cask. The 2016 Majura cask 51.6. The Amontillado from 2014 was 51.7. So yeah, I mean, it's definitely doing okay in terms of the ABV, but yeah, a couple more percentage points on this movie. Oh yeah, Bottle Republic. Yeah. Bottle Republic was a good one. Back in Toronto, he says. Wine Searcher, 1,000 corks, 100% agree. Both good sites. Yeah. The other at Saratoga Wine Exchange over in New York, they probably ship to you. Yeah. Well, here we go, by the way, on the Lefroy. Oh, it's so good. Rich, fresh, sprightly, punchy, salty. I do not think it is as good as the 12 Lagavulin, but it's really good. Yes, 100% Quig. I'm with you. Those are two distilleries that are just not. They don't do it for me. For the most part, I don't. I actually don't buy much from them. Younger Taliskers, especially, it's just too peppery for me. It's not. I'm not slighting their quality. I'm definitely not slighting Kilhoman's quality. Kilhoman does everything right. I just find their peaty whiskey's kind of acrid, kind of sour. It kind of missing mid palate. It's like they're kind of big up front, they're kind of hollow in the middle, and then you get ashy smoking. They're just missing something for me, and that could be a youth. Look, I'm not hating Kilhoman. I just do not. I just don't really enjoy most of their whiskey. It just is good as it is. Yes. I don't think the Carchus is Lagavulin 12, but I think it's really damn good. It's fresh, it's peaty, it's salty, and I don't believe it's because of the sea salt. It's sodium buildup in the barrels. All first fill ex bourbon. It's sodium built up from multiple factors, including the dankness, the maybe salinity of the air. I don't know. This whiskey is freaking good. And look, I just don't. Look, they don't say that it's natural color, not so filtered, which is fucking annoying. Well, let's be real, y'all. It's Lafroig. Like they lie. They are one of the worst offenders with this. But it's still Froig. It's Froig. Wow, right? You didn't see that. Look, it's good. That's all I can say. It tastes older than this 12-year-old Lagavulin, I'll tell you that. And that's because of the first fill bourbon. The first fill bourbon is masking the lack of age. So you're getting a barrel influence that's rounding out edges. It's bringing a lot of caramel, toffee, brown sugar notes. It's masking the youth. And succeeding at it. So just to give everybody a heads up, Patreon supporters, you are automatically entered into the whiskey raffle. I'm on my second whiskey raffle of the year. 3 times a year, if you're a Patreon supporter, you're automatically entered into sample raffles where there are 3 winners each time. We are on sample raffle number 2. If you want to join on Patreon, any level of support that you want to give to the show automatically gets you into this. So patreon.com/maltmuserwhiskey. Check it. I appreciate your support. The other thing I will mention is in addition to that, you get early releases of reviews. So Patreon supporters, check your email inbox. Tobermory12 review is sitting there waiting for your opinion. Thank you, Daniel, for dropping that link. That's the link. Next week, I will announce and share here on the live show what the 3 winners of the next Patreon raffle will get. And as I alluded to earlier, somebody's going to get a Bunnahabhain 25. In fact, somebody might get 2, more than one person might get a Bunnahabhain. We'll see. But if you think about it, how much would you pay for a glass of this versus supporting a grassroots whiskey channel and the community that we all hang out on every Tuesday? Seems like a good deal to me. Check it out, patreon.com, maltmuserwhiskey. There's also some exclusive content that will come your way. For everybody else, Friday, Tobermory 12 review will drop. Just to give you guys a peek of what's ahead, Tobermory 12 drops this Friday. Next week, Glenn Farkless, 15 years old. Boy, I can't wait to share that whiskey review with folks. Coming up after that, another Benromic Sassicaia fancy-ass wine cask review will be dropping. So we got a couple good ones coming up, and then I got another Versus Port Charlotte that will drop after that. So we're going to got a bunch of good reviews going into August. I got a schedule. I'm sticking to it. In the meantime, I think this Lafroig Carchus 2022 might find itself into that Patreon whiskey sample raffle as well. Because I just feel like people got to try this. This is really that good. Now, to compare it to the Lagavulin, you got to give a little edge to the log. But I will tell you, the Lagavulin tastes younger, even though it's 12 years and there's no age statement on this purchase. Yep, it is. It's really good. It's really, really good. No doubt. It's oaky, sweet, salty lemonade type of one. Doesn't? Yeah, I completely agree. It's that good. There's that link if you want to join. Check it out. 100% agree. Batch 15 or batch 14 was a total bummer. I have a comparison 20, the 13 to 14. Folks should check out. That's still the king. Look, man, I don't want to give too much away, but we can't get Glenfarclas 15 here in the States. It is not part of the core range here. And I got a really angry opinion about that. Lagavulin is better, but I think the age note you're getting on the cartridge is the warehouse. Yeah, I agree. And the brand, yeah, it's the cask for sure. Take it easy, Gene. Thanks for swinging through and hanging out tonight, man. Great to see you. Right, y'all. With Gene's Exodus, we got 22 folks in. Maybe I should go for another round. I'm giving to hang out for one more. Why not? We got a good crowd in. If you didn't catch the beginning of the show, I recommend you check out the replay, which will be posted right after this. We did review the Bunnahabhain 25, which we got in depth on, and it's a 4.75 out of 5 whiskey. So, with some caveats, check that out. Oh, Carches. Oh, I'm trying to put the Lagavulin cake on top of the curtain. That's where we're at. Go a Bunna. Oh. Well, you're trying to say I should bust out the Bunnahabhain Moynia Bordeaux cask? Is Dram Dude still here? I don't know, man. That's not Stanton with a bomb. Giancarlo, what's the score? I actually haven't checked the All-Star game. Sorry, hang on. ESPN. Innell's ahead. It says 2-0, but if Stanton just hit a home run, maybe that's not accurate. Dude, there's a lot to criticize Lefroy for. They're not very transparent about their stuff. They clearly are adding color. They're clearly chill filtering. But here's the thing. You just can't deny they have a level of greatness and just awesomeness about their product in the sense of, how the way their peat is. They're just so classic. I wish I could be more critical of them and, treat them the way I feel about some other distilleries that just don't seem to ever deliver. But it's Freud, man. It's Freud. Lefroy is Lefroy. They haven't lost their Lefroiginess, and it's hard for me to hate. That is 100% true. The cartridges are still at a good price. And Winston the Whiskey Cat is moving. What's up, buddy? Come here. Oh. That's my sleepy boy. You've been snoozing all day, buddy. It's hot here. It's good to see you. What do you think about the Lefroy? He's not having that. Nice. Castering repeated Isla. Cartridge is now halfway down. Yeah. Just loving the Thompson. It's 28 Freud, by the way. Days. I do have a Lefroy 28 up there, but I'm not going to be opening that tonight. Yeah. I went into Binny's here in Chicago, which is like one of our local chains. Great liquor store, by the way. I love Binny's. However, they had the hardcore. They had the limited edition, not even the committee release, which makes sense. Limited edition going for $29.99. I was like, I'm not touching that. I 100% agree with you, Upfront. Yeah, they do a good job. I think the Cartridge line, by and large, they straddle the fence between, innovation and quality and like not being super high priced. I mean, you look at the way the prices have been going on these herb bags. It's up. Okay. Let me go take a really quick, and then I'll be back with another whiskey. We'll keep it going. All right. So since we're talking about cast strength, I have a bottle here. There's so much dust on the top of this. It's not even ever been opened. We're going to open it tonight. This is the Octomore 8 years old, 10.2 release. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, this is a Sauternes finished Octo. You know what annoys me about Octomore, despite the price, outside the price, is they don't fucking tell you. The .2s are usually wine cask finishes. I've never met an Octomore I don't like. Give me just a second. I'm going to give you guys the tail of the tape on this. It's going to be freaking amazing. I know it. Oh my God, this is like a $300 bottle these days. What's happened to this? Jesus Christ. Whiskey base, 88 point something. Okay. Oh, 150 euros. 8 years old. First fill bourbon. Third fill Sauternes. 56.9% unchill filtered natural color. Sounds pretty fucking good, doesn't it? Let's see. We're gonna uncork this bad boy right now. I have a nice collection of Octomores up there. Ain't nothing, over the top, but this is gonna be good. Bricklottie Desert Island Distillery, for sure. There we go. Let's see what this Sauternes. So, look, I mean, we can debate the ppm level shit. I know they're all about saying it, so I'll share it just for posterity. 96.6. Low for an Octomore, but again, since you can't really taste most ppms past 45 or 50, who cares? Oh, I'm excited for this. Fucking new Octo, man. Well, new Octo for me, at least. Octomore 10.2. These are usually travel exclusives, or they were historically. And that's weird because usually they're the most experimental. So batch ones are usually like Scottish barley. Batch point threes are usually Isla barleys. Point twos are usually funky wine cask. And that's what we got here. First fill bourbon cask, third fill Sauternes, 56.9% Octomore. This is the only Octomore of my collection that I had not opened for some reason. Glad we get to do it today. Let me know in the chat. Anybody had this one before? I'm feeling like this is going to be really freaking good. 10.2. Octomore 10.2. Sauternes bottling. First fill bourbon. Sauternes third fill. 56.9% non-chill natural. These are delicious. Yeah, Jesus. Distilled and brewed in the house. Distilled, brewed, and reviewed. Go. Cheers, man. Glad to have you. If folks haven't shot them a sub, I would do that. Give them some love from the Malt Miser community. Here we go. This is Octomore 10.2. It's super heavily peated according to them. It's first fill American bourbon. It is third fill Sauternes, which is a French or Portuguese sherry. On the whiter side, it's more of a dessert confectionery thing. Lemon meringue, slightly nutty, sweet, all of that good stuff. Let's see what they got going here. You know, apricot, lemon. It's a very yellow fruit. And it's 8 years, so I really, that's nice. For the most part, it's heavily peat. You're getting a lot of like fresh fruit, yellow apple, pear, strawberry, orchard fruit generally, apple, little hints of cinnamon, caramel, nutmeg, all that. Pungent. Let's just give this a taste. Here we go. Octomore 10.2. Oh, yeah. This is what I expected. This is where the Sauternes shines. The nose on the Sauternes never impresses me. Oh, man. Peach cobbler, vanilla ice cream and peach. You just get this flood of sweet dessert-like characteristics, chocolate notes in the background, heavy peat punch. The 8 years is perfect. Oh, man. Lemon meringue pie, lemon meringue cheesecake, graham cracker. Oh, fuck. This is so good. You'd love to see this development last a little longer before that heavy, effervescent, drying peat hits the palate. But look, there's like the subtlety of vanilla icing all over this whiskey, from the nose to the development to the finish. It's like birthday cake icing, and it's just there. This whiskey falls into a bit more of a spice tart. It's kind of tart. Lemon. Like full lemon, not citric, biting lemon. Lemon and sugar. strawberries, little hints of pulled pork, sweet barbecue. I'm not kidding. This is a good whiskey. The only, I mean, it's 8 years old, which is pretty old for an Octomore. But look, I have a 9.2 Bordeaux cask up here. I think this one is better. And again, this PD level, 96 is low for an Octomore. It's fucking arbitrary. I'm telling you, you can't taste the difference. I have some that are 200 ppm up there. I have a 10-year-old that's 200 ppm. It's not that much more peated than this. It's not double more peated than this. Not that you can taste, because you can't taste it. Fucking Lagavulin or Lefroy 10 cask strength is more peated than this, and it's less ppms. This is a fact. You can't taste it. I heard a rep from Diageo say this on a live stream once, and it changed my way. They're right. The human palate cannot taste peat intensity at a 1-to-1 ratio based on these numbers. So this super peated stuff is fucking arbitrary. That all said, this is I'm not saying that sways the quality of Octomore, because it doesn't. This is a damn good whiskey. That Sauternes, man. A little bit of pineapple. I'm getting a little loose on that. It's been a minute. We weren't on last Tuesday. Let's do this. Yo, this is seriously good whiskey. This is better than the Lefroy Cartridge, and it's better than the Lagavulin 12 2019. This is because it's got this like vanilla icing quality to it. Oh man, it's just so good. If anything, the intensity of the peat, the dryiness that it brings, takes away from this a bit. This would be better if it was tamer. Still heavily peated, but tamer. In a Port Charlotte, this would be better. And I mean that, literally. I think that super peated nature of this dries this whiskey out a little bit too much. It could be better because the Sauternes is playing so well. It's a little bit abruptly cut off by this dry finish. I actually think this would be better if it didn't have 9 whatever or whatever the number is of super peat. I wish they would put this as a Port Charlotte. To go back in retrospect here, the Macaloni's wine cask that we tasted an hour ago. Well, first of all, Bunnahabhain 25 we tasted 4.75 out of 5. The Macaloni's 3.5 out of 5. The Lagavulin 12, which I'll do a full review of, 3.5, maybe 3.75, 3.5. The Lefroy Cartridge Warehouse 1, 3.75. This 3.75. It's just, this would be a great whiskey if it was a Port Charlotte release. Lower the ABV a little bit. Lower this heavily peated nonsense a little bit, and there's a great whiskey here. It's very good as it is. It's not great, but it could be. This could be a decadent dessert, heavily peated dessert whiskey if it wasn't so punchy. Because it's 8 years old, which is still young, but compared to some other Octomores, it's not that young. Most Octomores are 5 years. What's this other 3-year doing here? Not much, in my opinion. When you have a Sauternes, pretty tame, subtle cask, first still bourbon, very bold and aggressive, but it's just a little disjointed, still good. 3.75 makes total sense. I think I said 3.5, but we're going to go 3.75. It makes total sense. This is like a few ABV, a few drops of water away, which we're going to try right now. A few drops of water away, and a few. It just. I don't even think the age matters. Let's just bring this down a little bit. 5 drops. I'm going bold here. 5 fucking drops. Is this whiskey going to add 2 seconds of development and chill out a little bit on how pungently drying this is? Let's see. Whiskey fam. Two more drops. We're getting something here. 2 more drops. Let me just cleanse the palate. Hey, Vancouver's in the house. Indy, what conditioner do you use? You're talking about hair conditioner? Hair? I use Kick. It's a little stupidly priced, but it's good. Really good. It's called Kick. You can look it up on Amazon, KIAC. So 2 more drops here on the Sauternes finished Octomore. The nose already is doing exactly what I want it to do. Okay, it's good. It's better. Water is definitely working here. It's still not great. There's greatness here. I don't know if it needs more age or cast. I don't know. There's greatness here. This is a great. Bruichladdich got a great combination here. Bruichladdich very barley forward, very spirit forward. Bruichladdich has a signature barley note style, and even in a heavily peated whiskey, it shows up. The thing here is, I'm trying to tease out a bit more of the Sauternes to kind of level out this whiskey. This is a 3.75 whiskey as it is. I'm trying to see if we can go 4 on this. It's close. It's fucking close. But it's still just sticking in this dry zone. It's a little too dry. I feel there's a lot of potential here in the juiciness of this Sauternes. The way that it's interacting here has so much promise. It's just not quite getting over the edge here. It's still a little too dry. It's a little too unbalanced. All in all, good Octomore release. 3.75. I would pay $150 to $175 for this. Yeah, okay. 150, yeah. 175 for the Verge. Very good Octomore release. Just so close. So close. Yes, the Quig is in the house. I must always drink barefoot, says Gary K. Hey, okay. Yeah, I do. I just feel like it's varying in its. I don't know. I think I want to more than I do in practice. I like it. I just don't feel like it always works. And here again, like we're running into this issue where it's evident, it's making its presence known. I enjoy it. It just, God, I don't know if it's whether it's a little bit less peat, a little bit less ABV, even though we toned it down, or a little bit more age. This whiskey's so close to being really good. But as it stands, it's just very good. And I think 3.75 is warranted. Yeah, 100%. 100%. I don't disagree with you on that, Gary, at all. Yeah, Kick. I use Kick. It's a teachery thing. I use a Kick shampoo. Where the BCL? I don't know what BCL is. Say more. I'm jealous. I've yet to have one. Yet to have one. Man, this little challenge just screams off the nose here. It's so nice. Apricot, slight orange, mandarin orange. Just delicious. The vanilla cream note, that buffet thing, that dessert note. So nice. It just, the nose doesn't match the palate. It needs to. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. It just doesn't quite. The entire experience isn't perfect, but it's good. I'd say with water, maybe this kicks up to a 4. It just dries too soon. I don't know. I like it. It's a really good whiskey. It's a really, really good whiskey. Okay. So just to remind folks, if you missed the early part of the show where our profile whiskey was Bunnahabhain 25, go back and check that out. That is a near perfect whiskey. I would drink more tonight if my palate wasn't completely destroyed by Pete. Tobermory 12 review dropping Friday. Check that out. Patreons, it's already in your email inbox. And by the way, if you're not a Patreon supporter yet, you should be, because next week I will announce the samples that will be part of the sample raffle for Patreon supporters. You automatically are entered if you're a Patreon supporter. You have 3 chances to win samples. I will send them your way. They're usually worth more than what you can put on Patreon, so it can be worth your value. Patreon.com/maltmuserwhiskey, support the channel, all that good jazz. And with that, I'm going to close things up for the evening, get myself some dinner, and I look forward to seeing folks next week. Keep an eye out for that Tobermory 12 review drop on Friday and the preview for the next Malt Muser Tasty Tuesday show, man. And for you all living in excessively hot areas, which it seems to be most of the world right now, do what you got to do to stay cool, especially if you've been drinking alcohol. Drink a little bit extra water tonight. Keep cool. A little bit can go a long way. Drink a bunch of water. Do what you got to do. And with that, I'll see you all next week, man. Much love to everybody. And with that, some lunch. Be good.